Welcome to Safety Brief. I'm Brandon. This isn't Sarah or JD. I have another host with me today, Angel. Why don't you give everybody the Reader's Digest version of Angel?
Yeah, so Angel, I'm a Marine Corps veteran, and I work here at Grunt Style on the marketing team. So
awesome.
Yes,
welcome to Safety Brief. For everybody that doesn't know, Safety Brief is the show where we tell you what not to do, even though we know you're going to go do it because you're you. But if you ever spend any time in the military, you know the time-honored tradition of the Friday Safety Brief that the first sergeant and the commander give every Friday before they release the troops for the weekend. And so that's what we're doing here. It's Friday. It's a long weekend, guys.
Yes.
Today is Good Friday.
Or
whatever weird holiday we made up for this. But all I know is that everybody's off work.
Yes.
And then it's Saturday, Sunday's Easter.
Yep.
And it's a nice long weekend, which means there are 3 days for everybody to get into trouble. And
that's a long time.
We don't want to do that.
No.
So we're here to tell you guys how to not get in trouble. Now, Angel.
Yes, sir.
I'm an Army veteran.
All right.
I was an infantryman. Where were you stationed?
So I was in Camp Pendleton, California. I was there for a little while, and then I went to Okinawa, Japan.
Never been there.
Beautiful place.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nice.
A lot of people didn't want to go there, but
why?
I don't know. It's like because you're away from family. I mean, you're already away from family as it is. Who cares? Yeah.
Family schmamly. I grew up in Southern California, so I'm pretty familiar with San Diego and Coronado and 29 Palms and all that area. I love San Diego. I'm probably one of the few places I would ever go back to in California. But the thing I love even more about San Diego is it's like where good conduct medals and good conduct ribbons go to die. So if you're stationed there, like, you might as well just, plan on the fact that you're going to get in trouble. Sure. Everybody goes wild there. It's a good time. What's the craziest thing you ever saw while you were there in San Diego?
Oh, man. So I spent a lot of time in good old Oceanside, California.
Oceanside.
Yeah, there's a little bar called, I'm not going to say it, but.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. It was an underground club, and it got nasty in there, man.
Wow.
It was nasty.
Nasty.
Walking down the steps to this basement, your shoes were, sticky.
There's a lot of underground stuff there.
Yeah.
And I think the last time I was in San Diego was during COVID, and there was it was like an illegal underground R&B club.
Oh.
Because everything was shut down. So it was like top secret. Like, if you know, you know. And one of my friends was bartending, so she got us in for free. And it was fucking wild, man. It was unhinged.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This place there in Oceanside was awesome.
Yeah.
Music was just right on. The people, everything. But.
Yeah, it's always a good time. I spent my military days at Joint Base Lewis McChord, formerly Fort Lewis, Washington. And I don't feel like that was really like a really crazy place to be because it was like all outdoors, like hiking, canoeing, fishing, hunting. You're 2 hours from all of that stuff. But there were like some areas where guys would go that constantly like they're getting in trouble. There was a club there called the Swiss. It doesn't exist anymore.
Oh.
And it was in downtown Tacoma, and it was like every time guys went there, like somebody would be like dancing on the first sergeant's wife or some crazy shit. Good times. Good times. Safety brief, don't dance on the first sergeant's wife and or daughter.
Don't do that. Yeah, and or daughter.
And or daughter. That's a dumb ways to die.
Dude, funny story though about that.
I love funny stories.
The daughter thing. One of my buddies, right? He was new to the fleet, whatever, did his thing on the East Coast, and he started dating this girl that he met. And come to find out, when he went to her house, knocked on the door, it was his CO, his commanding officer. So yeah, talk about awkward.
Panic.
Yeah. Oh, he did.
Yeah. Panic. How fast did he break up with her?
Actually, it was before he deployed. So.
Yeah. Well, I fell down this weird rabbit hole in preparation earlier this week for some other stuff that we were talking about. If you guys watched Full Gruntle earlier this week, I fell down a weird rabbit hole and prep for that show of like anonymous internet confessions. And we touched on some of this stuff on Full Gruntle, but I want to touch on some of these again, man.
Oh my goodness.
Because if there's two things I love, it's weird stories and it's anonymous confessions. So, you know, we read some of these, but there were some that I also wanted to talk to here. So I want to read this to you, and I want to rap about it, and then we're going to tie this into the safety brief.
Okay.
When I was younger, I took a dump inside of my neighbor's wall while their house was being built. 15 years later, they sleep inches away from my mummified turd every night, and they have no idea. I want to start this off by saying, like, hey, the internet is a weird, disgusting place. I could do an entire year's worth of safety brief content just on weird things that I read on the internet. But this one, man, you think that's real?
I think that's real.
Yeah. What's the weirdest? I don't know if you'll even talk about it, but what's the weirdest thing you've done? Have you ever done something like that?
Something like that? Done something like that?
Like taking a dump in like somebody's wall locker or anything like that?
No, I do know. I guess it wasn't just me. It was a group of people. We had put a old dip bottle, and we all filled it up right to the top and put it in some guy's locker. Didn't find it because he had all this crap in there, and then it started smelling because it got older and older.
Yeah. When I was in Iraq, I'm not going to say who did this, but I heard, of a certain squad leader who, while he was on like R&R, his wall, like the walls were plywood that separated all the rooms, and so guys were filling up piss bottles and throwing them over the wall into his room. Ooh. So he came back, and it was just piss bottles everywhere in his room, and he was furious.
Yeah, I would. Are you okay?
I heard that happened and that he was mad about it. Safety brief: don't fill your boss's room full of piss bottles.
Yeah, don't do that.
If you do, don't get caught.
Don't get caught.
But see, that in the military, I feel like that's the biggest difference between like the military and the civilian sector. It's like, hey, don't do it. It's kind of like don't get caught, right?
Yeah.
Wink, wink. Don't get caught, guys. Did you ever acquire gear when you were?
It's
allegedly.
I don't know if I should say CID watching. No, I have a lot of just like pullover like shirts.
And it's like that's the thing. It's like, hey, stealing is wrong. If you get caught. But unlike the military world, like in the civilian sector, you're not supposed to. Like, you really aren't supposed to do that.
Yeah, definitely not.
Well, what else ever happened to you when you were in the Marines, Angel? Okinawa seems like it would be a wild place.
It was, yeah. So there was a lot going on, man, when I was there. As far as like people in the barracks, always, so and so messing with each other. You would hear this stuff going on in the barracks. Those are some very thin walls.
Very thin.
And you can hear everything from down the hall.
Everything. How many people did you hear doing the oh yeah? Oh yeah.
Every other night.
Yeah. Did they ever get like really official with it? Like, put it in me, Lance Corporal Smith, huh?
I didn't hear that, man. No? After that happened, man, I just put on my headphones.
Good.
Just kidding.
Good. I like to listen.
You like to listen?
I like to listen. But I take the headphones out. I'm like, wait, did I hear people fucking?
Okay, yeah. Dude, my neighbors now are the loudest.
Good for them.
And we're in different houses. We're not, we're not in an apartment or anything like that. It's like we're in houses, and you hear them 10 a.m., dude.
Doing it, man.
Going at it.
On a work day?
On a Saturday.
Wow, good for them.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I'm getting ready to go to church because they do it Saturdays and Sundays. Man, I know their whole schedule. Yeah.
Good for them, man. That's impressive. Good. Good. That makes me happy.
It's healthy. Yeah.
And that, again,
that.
safety brief. Have all the wild, crazy sex you want.
Yeah.
Just protect your troops,
It's definitely a healthy thing, man.
Protect your troopers before you send them out into combat. That's all I'm going to say. Can I say that? I'm going to say it. San Diego, though.
Yes.
Close to Mexico.
Close to TJ.
Close to TJ. The old Tijuana.
Little Tijuana.
Did you ever make the trip down south?
No, man. I was a good kid.
No.
I was too scared.
Oh, okay. How old were you when you were down there?
I was like 21.
Oh, okay. So you were barely legal. Like
Yeah.
You were fresh.
Yeah.
Okay. Fresh meat. Got it.
Yeah.
Tijuana, man.
I heard there was a donkey show or something down there.
Donkey show. I don't know about
what
that. Again, grew up in Southern California. I'm not going to say what did or didn't happen while I lived there. But I've heard again great things about Tijuana. The food's great.
Oh, that's what I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely
tacos,
what I've heard.
Food.
Good tacos.
You definitely got some of that influence, the San Diego culture too, which is nice.
Well, San Diego is a lot like San Antonio is. I feel like it's this weird mix of cultures where you've got a lot of the Latin culture, Mexican culture, American culture, and then you've got like the military bases all right there. So it all kind of blends together, and it's really cool.
It's awesome.
It reminds me a lot of living here in San Antonio.
Yeah.
But it's cool, man. Like I really like that really fun mix of culture. You ready for another weird confession?
Let's hear it, man.
I have a secret Twitter account where I tweet about my coworkers and their annoying habits. It's like therapy with the added thrill of knowing they'll never find out.
That's definitely true.
That's definitely true.
And I want to know that Twitter handle, so I can follow it.
We should start one like Grunt style confessions.
Yeah, but not talk about
people. But maybe we start one called like Grunt style confessions, and everybody in the office has access to it. And it's where they can just log in and like, hey, this is this weird thing. Like, get it out, talk about it.
That'd be weird,
but
though. Like the next
anonymously.
Day, imagine at night you're sitting in your bed and you're just like, confession time.
Yeah.
And then the next day you walk into the office and everyone's like, yes, I am.
Yeah. Well, that's a great way to start office drama too.
Yeah.
Like I have the biggest crush on the person I sit next to, and so then everybody's trying to figure out like, is it me?
Yeah, he's wearing a family shirt today or yesterday. You're like, hey.
I'm looking over at Angel like, oh boy, yeah, we probably shouldn't do that. Never mind. Man,
yes, sir.
It's spring is springing.
Spring is springing. That's right.
And with that, water is warming up. It's almost time to start hitting the rivers out here in San Antonio. Yeah. Have you floated the river out here?
I have, yes, sir.
Yeah, it's fun, man.
It's a lot. Yeah, and so if you go out there, make sure, and if you haven't been to the river around here or whatever, make sure you bring like a cooler or something.
Of beverages.
Beverages.
Could be water.
Water.
Could be anything other than water.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you to drink on the river,
Gatorade.
But drink on the river.
Hydrate for sure.
Yeah,
because it's a lot. It takes a while. Have you been on it?
Yeah, and so the dangerous part is like you'll get out there, you get on your tube, and you float for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, however long you're out there, and you're drinking the whole time, and you don't realize it. And then at the end, you go to stand up, and you're like, "Whoa, dude! Like I am toasted." So hydrate. Be careful.
Yes,
have a plan. This is called Safety Brief. Drop some of the weirdest things you guys have done or seen or experienced, or if you want to get ballsy, drop some of your confessions right down there in the chat box there, right there. Drop your confessions. We want to hear them. We won't tell anybody. Except for the 13 people watching. Well, should we talk some more about Safety Brief stuff?
Let's do it.
So I want you to give me a safety pointer.
A safety.
I feel like you have some. You were a Marine.
Yes,
Marines
sir.
are infamous for being super safe, right?
Oh,
you guys never do
time.
anything silly and/or dangerous.
Never.
Yeah. So what's your biggest safety takeaway that people should think about this weekend?
Definitely put on your seatbelt if you're driving anywhere.
Okay.
I've seen, I was an MP, dude. So
Oh,
I saw,
God.
I know everyone's gonna freaking roast me. But yeah, but so most of my time, I'm not gonna go down a rabbit hole, but most of my
please don't.
time I was a field MP, and then I did a little bit of time working PMO. So I did my little thing there. But I've seen people that weren't wearing their seatbelts, go through.
Go through a windshield.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not pretty. So make sure you do that.
Well, I'll bring it up. I'm wearing the shirt that says family.
Yeah.
This was a Grunt Style Limited shirt that we did for a member of our Grunt Style Foundation named Drew, who was in a really bad motorcycle wreck. And man, motorcycles fun, but they are dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in an accident, and of course, there's no seatbelt on a motorcycle. So what Angel's saying, as lame as it sounds, is true, man. Wear a seatbelt, buckle up, be careful, be safe.
Yeah.
But let's go into the safety brief. Like I said, it's warming up outside. The rivers are opening back up. The water's getting nice and cool. Wear a life vest, man.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't care how good of a swimmer you are. It's silly. You might think it's goofy, whatever. But how many times do you read on the news like, oh, this guy drowned? Or
and it happens a lot because, especially with people like that go tubing or go skiing.
Yeah.
You get launched off one of those things, you get knocked out.
And you never know how deep the water is.
That too.
I lost a friend of mine that I served in the Army with. He was in a lake, I want to say, and out on a boat, and he dove off, and just that hit his head, went unconscious and drowned. And it's a sad thing, and it's totally like it's something that's stupid easy to not have happen. Wear a life jacket. Be careful while you're out there on the water. We preach about it every day. Angel and I are enjoying an adult beverage right now on Safety Brief. We're drinking. Guess what we're not doing when we leave the studio here? We're not driving.
We're not driving.
No, absolutely not.
My wife already knows to come pick me up.
Yep. So if you're going to drink, don't drive. If you're going to drive, don't drink. We all have like this weird thing right here that can summon a stranger from the internet to give you a ride. So it's not worth it.
Yep.
It's expensive. The legal fees and the court fees alone, like 10 grand, 15 grand. Mm-hmm. If you have that kind of extra money and you want to get rid of it, again, we'll put my Venmo at the end of the screen. You can just send me that. You don't have to get the DUI. I'll take your money. Yeah. Any other safety things that you think are important?
Just be cautious of your surroundings. Like if you're walking home from the bar or anything like that, just be careful. Always use the buddy system.
Yeah,
have somebody with
a battle buddy, man.
Yeah. Definitely do that because there's a lot of you never know who's following you or who put something in your drink and stuff like that. So, yeah,
I take roofies recreationally just to avoid that happening.
Nice. Well, so you can like build up your
build up my tolerance.
Your tolerance for it.
Nice. And that goes back to have a plan. Know what you're going to do. Make a plan for the weekend and go out with a good group of people.
Yeah.
But most importantly, the thing that I want to touch on is reach out and talk to somebody, man. I'm going to look right into the camera. I'm going to bring the mic close to my mouth so you guys hear me. Reach out and talk to somebody. Reach out and talk to a buddy, whether you served, whether you didn't serve. Reach out and talk to somebody you haven't said hello to in a while. Sometimes that's all it can take. We never know what people are going through. We never know what they're dealing with. Ever since the onset of COVID, mental health is just a whack doodle thing going on in our country. So reach out, talk to somebody, drop a line, say hi, say hello. And you never know what that can do for somebody and how it can brighten their day, whether, whatever they got going on. So, hi, Angel.
Hey.
Hi. Michael, back behind the keyboard. Hi, hello.
Hello.
Hey, Michael.
Hi. All right. Well, that's your safety brief. I know you guys are going to screw it up anyway. It's like talking to a bunch of freaking spasmatic 12-year-olds. So let's move into the four-toast salute, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. To those who served, cheers. To those who supported us while we served, couldn't have done it without you. Cheers. To those young bucks still out there carrying the torch of freedom, fighting for our country, cheers. And finally, to our brothers and sisters that never made it home, we remember you guys. Cheers. All right, guys, that does it for us. Tune in next week for another safety brief, and don't screw it up, guys.
Yeah.
RED. That's RED. As in remember, everyone deployed. Simple enough on the surface, but what do the words mean? It means that even today, right now, someone, somewhere is going to miss a birthday. A loved one's passing, the birth of their first son. Someone's brother, a son, daughter, sister, mother, or father. Someone is far away, even today, and we must never, ever forget them. Remember everyone deployed.